I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the vendors for entrusting us with the sale of the beautiful family home here today. To the neighbours in the crowd, thank you for coming and for making this part of Box Hill North one of the best streets to live in. To the bidders in the crowd, thank you for coming and wish you all the best in the bidding procedure. And to the one lucky buyer, we congratulate you in advance on your astute purchase. This auction will be conducted in accordance with the rules and any additional conditions are made available before the commencement of the auction. As auctioneer, I'll be indicating bids upon request and the right to place bids on behalf of the sellers, otherwise known as vendor bids. If when I decide to place those bids, I'll simply say vendor bid. This auction prohibits false bids, prohibits major disruptions by bidders attempting to prevent us from bidding, provides fines for misconduct, and last but not least, when this paperwork hits my hand and this property is deemed sold, I will absolutely take no late bids and offers beyond that point. If you're successful here today, all that I require from you is a little 10% deposit of the full purchase price. Settlement time, you pick the time frame that suits you best. And the sellers have been quite flexible here today, anywhere within the vicinity of 60 through to 90 days, unless prior arrangements have been made with you beforehand. In the instance where you're bidding against vendor bids, you have two options. Do not bid against the highest vendor bid, which means that you'll decrease your chances of being successful here today, as we'll get to negotiate with multiple parties afterwards. On the positive flip side, however, is that if you do bid against the highest vendor bid, you own yourself the exclusive right to negotiate with the sellers, and statistically speaking, you'll increase your chances of being successful here today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you've all been through this beautiful, renovated, extended, updated, whatever you want to call it, family home. Weatherboard in the heart of Box Hill North. 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 1 with master ensuite, ladies and gentlemen, built-in robes throughout, ladies and gentlemen. It's a wonderful home, double carport in the front as well, workshop in the back, ladies and gentlemen. Perfect for a growing family as well. Also, you've got a magnificent backyard here on Garden Street. And as you can see, Garden Street is very, very popular. Lots of new homes have been built in this street. So, ladies and gentlemen, you know the home, you know the location, second to none, walking distance, Kirramil Primary School. You're also close to Coonung Secondary, Blackburn High as well, if you're looking for secondary school options. Catholic school, ladies and gentlemen, you've got St. Francis Xavier, Our Lady of Zion as well. In this location, you've got Woodhouse Grove shops just down the road here, Kirramil shops up the road as well, Springfield Park, and the list goes on. Public transport options, ladies and gentlemen, whether you're looking for Box Hill train station in Box Hill Central or Suburban Rail Loop, which will be coming to you shortly. Plus bus services around here as well, tram stops in Whitehorse Road as well, ladies and gentlemen, and of course amenities, Westfield Doncaster, Box Hill Central, Box Hill Hospital, the list goes on. So enough from me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure you've done your due diligence on the home and you don't need me to tell you how good this property and location is. So enough from me, I'm going to kick it over to you now. Ball's in your court. Opening bidder here today, we'll get a free bottle of champagne.
1.3.
1.3, they must have got the inside word, ladies and gentlemen. $1.3 million. At $1,300,000, the opening bidder here now. At $1,300,000, and we wish you all the best in the bidding procedure here today. Emma, at $1,300,000 now. At 1.3. At $1,300,000 now, looking for an increment, ladies and gentlemen. What do you say? $1,300,000. Any interest here? At 1.3. Any interest here, Judith? At $1,300,000. Any interest? Just put your hand up and bid. Gary, any interest here on the left? $1,300,000. Marvin, any interest here? At $1,300,000. A lot of familiar faces in the crowd. Now's the time to bid. At $1,300,000. How about you, Colin? Any interest here? Will be very easy for you to move. At $1,300,000, just move across. At $1,300,000 now, going to call 3 times buyers and prepare to miss out. At $1,300,000 now. How about you, man? Any interest? You've been to a lot of open for inspections in the area. How about you here, Bruce? Any interest here? 1.3 now. This is better than the one that you missed out last time in Mount Albert North. At $1,300,000, are you sure? Great value buying. The other one that you went to ended up selling for nearly $700,000 more. Here we are, 1.3 great value buying in the heart of Box Hill North. 1.3 now. Going to call 3 times buys. At $1,300,000 now. First call now, 1.3. Second opportunity now at $1,300,000. Third and final call now at $1,300,000 here. They're in the box seat here, $1,300,000 and loving life at the moment, as no one's competing with them, at $1,300,000 here. At 1.3. At $1,300,000 now. Now's not the time to hold back, ladies and gentlemen. $1,300,000 at 1.3. Any interest here? At 1.3 now. 1.25. At There's nothing the way it looks like. It's just the two of you here. At 1,300,000 at the moment. At 1,300,000. Otherwise, we'll have to pass it into the highest bidder and miss out on the chance to negotiate. At $1,300,000, you want to be holding the highest bid at all times. If they come in and negotiate, most likely they're going to buy the property at $1,300,000 when it's at this level. It's a no-brainer. At $1,300,000, let's try 25 each of them. At $1,300,000 now. Yes? At 1.3 now. I can put in a vendor bid, but much rather see something from the crowd here at $1,300,000 because we're going to get there in the end anyway. Whether I put in a vendor bid or it comes from you, I'd love to see you guys bid here at $1,300,000 now. Going to call it 3 times. First call now at $1,300,000. Second opportunity now at $1,300,000. Third and final call now at $1,300,000. All done, finish, and silent here now. $1.3 million. Any further interest or increments buys? At 1.3 now, Emma's holding the bid here at $1,300,000 at the moment. At $1,300,000 now, buyers need to know if there's any interest in the crowd here. At $1,300,000. At 1.3. At 1.3 now, need to know now at $1,300,000. At $1,300,000 now. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to put in a vendor bid at $1,325,000 and invite you to bid on top of that at $1,325,000. At $1,325,000 now, any interest here, sir? At $1,325,000, thank you. At $1,325,000. At $1,325,000, looking for 50. At 1.325, 1.325. At 1.325 now, buyers need to know any interest or increments. At $1,325,000 at the moment. At 1.325. At $1,325,000, Emma, what do you say? At 1.325. At $1,325,000. Let's go 50. Let's go 50, ma'am. At 1.325 at the moment. Let's go 1.350. At $1,325,000, 50 to get you back in front. At $1,325,000. We don't want to undersell your future home here. At 1.325. At $1,325,000 at the moment. 1.325. At 1.325 now. 50 to get you back in front at 1.325. At 1.325 now, buyers need to know. Rachel, what do you say? At 1.325, going to see a bid from you. Love to see you in front here now at 1.325. At $1,325,000 now. 1.325 here at the moment at 1.325. 1.350 out at 1.350. At 1.350 now with Emma here at 1.350. At $1,350,000 with Granny and a buyer here now at 1.350. At $1,350,000 at the moment. At 1.350. At $1,350,000. Every time I come to you, the bid's a little bit higher. The sooner you bid, the sooner you can secure the home at 1.350 at the moment. 1.350, let's try 75. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? At 1.350. At $1,350,000 now. 1.350. At $1,350,000 now. Bids here at 1.350. At 1.350. At $1,350,000. Rachel, what do you say? Well, that should know as soon as you ask, but you're not even holding the highest bid. So we need to know if you're actually interested here today. At $1,350,000, at 1.350, if you want the property, you have to put in a bid. Make your intentions clear. At 1.350, at 1.350 now, they're holding the highest bid. Let's try 75. Rachel, get you involved. At 1.350. What are you waiting for? At 1.350. At $1,350,000 now. What are you waiting for? Neighbours asking as well. 1,350, Rachel. I've never seen you bid at auction. I'd love to see you bid. 1,350. 1,350. Remember, you waited for the other one. You could rise to pass in, and then ended up selling for more than $100,000 more after it passed in. So here's your chance to bid and buy on auction circumstances. 1,350, where it's all transparent, ready for you. No pressure. All eyes on you here, Rachel. At $1,350,000 now. Need to know. At $1,350,000 now. Going to court 3 times here. First call now. At $1,350,000. Second opportunity now at $1,350,000. Third and final call now at 1,350. All done, finished, and silent here now, ladies and gentlemen, at 1,350. Any bids here? Need to know. 1,350. 1,350 here at the moment, ladies and gentlemen, need to know. 1,350 at $1,350,000 at the moment. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to hit the pause button and seek further instructions to our vendors. I'll be back with you in a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, our vendors are here to sell here today. We're at $1,350,000. No further interest from the crowd. We'll pass the property in to the highest bidder here. We'll have exclusive rights to negotiate with the sellers here today. And most likely, you're going to see a sold sticker on the board here today, as our owners are very, very realistic here at $1,350,000 now. You're going to court 3 times here and prepare to miss out buyers at $1,350,000 now. First call now at $1,350,000.
Do you take 1,000?
No, we're not taking ones, ma'am. We're going on increments of $25,000 on the rise. At $1,350,000 at the moment. At 1,350. At $1,350,000 now. Need to know. At 1,350. At $1,350,000 now. 5. Any interest here? Need to know. 1,350. At $1,350,000. Ma'am, what do you say? Let's go bid on top of that at 1,350. At $1,350,000 now. First call now, 1,350. Second opportunity now, 75. Welcome to the bidding here now at 1,375. New interest here at $1,375,000. Bids back against you, Emma. What do you say? Perhaps a 1.4 to get you in front here at 1,375 next to Jim. At $1,375,000 now on the left-hand side. Now see 1.4 to get you in front here now, 1,375. At $1,375,000 now. Now see you bid on top of that at 1,375 on my left-hand side. At $1,375,000. Emma, what do you say? At 1,375. At 1,375 now, need to know. 1.4. 1.4. Welcome back in front here to my opening bidder at 1.4. We've missed you at $1.4 million. Bids back against you, Jim. What do you say over the top here at $1.4 million? At 1.4 with Emma here holding the highest bid. At 1.4 now, need to know buyers, any further interest or increments at $1.4 million. At 1.4, Jim, what do you say? At 1.4, Granny, what do you say now as well? At $1.4 million in front here at $1.4 million. At $1,400,000 now. Need to know buyers. At 1.4. At $1,400,000 here in front. Guys, what do you say? Don't tell me you just came here today with one bid at $1,400,000 now. Need to know. Gonna call 3 times.
25.
25, good bidding here now, 1,425. At 1,425 now, Emma bids back against you, perhaps 50 to knock out your competitor here today. At 1,425,000 at the moment, at 1,425. At $1,425,000, can I see 50 to get you back in front? At 1,425 at the moment, at $1,425,000.
Is it on the market?
We'll let you know as soon as we are, but I think we're pretty much there. At $1,425,000 at the moment. The next bid could take us up there at 1,425. At 1,425 now. 25, 1,450. At 1,450 now, Jin's going in. At 1,450 now, bids back against you. Sir, what do you say at 1,450? At 1,450,000. Man, love to see you bid. Haven't seen you bid all day here today. We'd love to see you bid. At 1,450. At 1,450. Did you want to try an increment here? 10. At 1,450. At $1,450,000 at the moment. 1,450. Any further interest or increments? Just gonna squeeze through here. Rachel, 1,450. You said you were waiting, so are you going to bid? Maybe? Yes or no? We'll wait? Okay, no worries. We can all wait together at $1,450,000. 1,450. Gary? You know the location? Don't have to move very far as well. 1,450. Let's put in a bid. 10? What do you think? Not yet. Help a friend out. 1,450. At $1,450,000 now. At 1,450. At 1,450,000. We're on the market and selling for no better bidding here today. At 1,450. Emma, you're walking away with the keys here today. At 1,450. At $1,450,000 now. Any other buyers who've been waiting? Now's the time to jump in and bid and purchase. At $1,450,000.
1,000.
1,000, I'll take your one now at 1,451. At 1,451 with Granny here now at 1,451. At 1,450,000.
52.
52. 1,000. 53. 53 here. Granny, Jim, 1,453. At 1,453,000. We're not taking 500s, ma'am. At 1,453. At 1,453,000. It's not a race to the bottom here now at 1,453. 54.
63.
63?
Yes.
63. Welcome to the bidding here, Rachel, at 1,463. At $1,463,000. 1,463. 1,064. We've got 4 bidders involved here now at 1,464. At $1,464,000 at the moment. 1,464. At $1,464,000 here. In front. Standing in front of me here
70.
now. 70 now, good bidding here at 1,470. At 1,470 in the back. At $1,470,000 now. Granny, what do you say now? 1,470. At $1,470,000 now. Gonna call 3 times here. 1,470 in the back. Prepare to miss our buys. First call now. $1,470,000. 71. In the nick of time. 1,471. Saving the auction here
80.
now. 80, bang, 1,480, lucky number 8. At $1,480,000 in the back. At 1,480 with Rachel here now at 1,480. At $1,480,000. Emma, what do you say? At 1,480. Gary, you said you were waiting. Is it the time to act now? 1,480. At 1,480,000. 80 now. I won't be able to hear you from here, but if you want to bid, put your hand up. At 1,480. At $1,480,000. At $1,480,000. 81. 81. It's going
88.
strong. Right? Sorry?
88.
88. Lucky number 8 here now. 1,488. At $1,488,000 now. Here. In front at 1,488. At $488,000 now. Gonna call 3 times here. 1488. Bids back against you, ma'am.
89.
89. 89, let's go straight to 1.5 would be my suggestion. A lot of buyers leave the budgets on those round figures. So if you go to 1.5 first, you could secure the property here at $1,489,000. 1489 at $1,489,000.
1.5.
1.5 bang at 1.5 with Rachel here now. 1.5 bids back against you. Emma 1.5. 1. 501. 501 bids back against you, Jim. 1501. Come on, guys, what do you think? 1501. You mentioned you prefer this property to the one in Doncaster, which sold for a higher price at $1,501,000. So that means it still provides good value for you here at 1501. At $1,501,000 now.
2.
2 bids back against you here at 1502. At $1,502,000. The ones are being pulled out here, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very close race at the moment, 1502. I think a $1,000 bid is what's going to buy the property here today, 1502. At $1,502,000. Any further interest or increments here now? To the buyer who started getting $1,000 bids today, you want to end on the $1,000 bid as well. At 1502. At $1,502,000. Let's try another one now to get you in front. 1502. At $1,502,000 now.
3.
1503. That was worked away. Bids back against you here. 4. Bang. At 1504. At 1504. Bids back against you, man. 5. 6. The ones don't seem to be working. Let's try something else. At 1506. At $1,506,000 now. 1506. 8. 1508. Let's go 10. 9. No one ever listens to the auction here. 1509. At 1,509. 1509 bids back against you. 10. 10 bids back against you, ma'am. At 11. 511 here now. 1511. At $1,511,000 on my left. At 1511.
12.
12.
15.
15. Good bidding here now. Keeping your competitor guessing here at 1515. At $1,515,000. 17. 17 now. 18. 1518. At $1,518,000 now. 1518. At 1,520. 1520. 1520. 21. 21 here. 21 on my left. 21 at 1521.
22.
22 at 1522. At
23.
23. 23 here now. 1523. At $1,523,000 now. 1523.
26.
26.
28.
28. 28 now. 1528. At $1,528,000.
30.
30 now, good bidding here. 1530. At 1530, Jim, what do you say?
31.
31. 31 here on my left.
32.
32. 32, Jim. 1532. At $1,532,000.
35.
35. 1535.
6.
6. 6.
8.
8. 40. 1538. 1538.
39.
9. 39. 39 here, Rachel, have a think about it. 1539. Still providing great value here.
500.
Sorry, 40.
500.
500.
39.5.
39 and a half. They're stretching the limits here now. That should give you confidence, Matt. At 1539 and a half. At 1,539.
40.
40. 1540.
500.
540 and a half. 40 and a half here. At 1540 and a half.
41.
41. 41. At $1,541,000 now. 1541. 1541 here.
500.
541 and a half. 41 and a half here on the left. Rain, good. Any interest here? 1540. 1542. 42, Jim. 1542. Up 1,540,000.
500.
500 now, 42 and a half. 42 and a half, Granny, what do you say?
43.
43. 43, Jim. 1543. Thank you. At $1,543,000 now. 1543. At $1,543,000. Bids here. 1543. Rachel, what do you say? At 1543.
45.
45. Granny, what do you say? 1545. Up $1,545,000 now. Just between the two of you guys now.
46.
46. 46 now, bids back over the top. At 1546. At $1,546,000 now. Need to know buys. 1546. At $1,546,000 now. We're going to call it 3 times here. 47. 47. Let's go straight to 50 now.
8.
8. 48. 1548 gives you an opportunity to round this up to 50 here.
500.
548 and a half. At 1548 and a half. 549. No one wants to go to 50. Skip 50, go straight to 51 then. At 1549. At 1549 here. 49. On my right.
50.
50. Got there in the end. 1550. At 1550 now fits back against you here. At $1,550,000 now.
500.
550 and a half. At 1550 and a half. At 1,550,500 here. On the right hand side.
500.
551. 51. 51 here. At 1,551. 1,052. 52, Jim. The 500s and the
500.
500s aren't working, but they're still trying. 1551 and a half. At 1,551,500. 52. 52? 3. 53. At 1553. At $1,553,000 now.
55.
55. 1555. 1,000,000. 6. 56. 56. Can I see 60 perhaps? At 1556. At 1,500,000. 500 now. 56 and a half. 56 and a half at the moment. 500. 57. 57 now. At $1,557,000 now. 1557.
58.
58. 58 now. 1558. Let's go straight to 60 now. 1558.
60.
60. Thank you. 1560. It's better to end it on a round figure. 1560. At 1,560,000.
500.
500 here. 1560 and a half. At 1,560,500 here on my left hand side. At
61.
61. 61 on my right. At 1,561,000. 61.
500.
Another 500. 61 and a half. 61 and a half.
2.
2. 62. At 1562. At 1562 now. 1,500,000. Another 500. 62 and a half. 62 and a half here.
3.
3. 1563. At 1,560,000.
500.
500 now. 63 and a half.
4.
4. 64. 64, Jim. 1564.
500.
564 and a half. 64 and a half now.
66.
66. 1566.
68.
68 now. 1568. 1568. 1568. Very, very
500.
500. 1568. 500. At 1,568,500 here. Just going to give up first here now. 1568 500. Up 1568 500 now. Jim, what do you say? 1568 500 bids against you here. We need to know. Otherwise, we'll sell away. Got a highest bidder here today. Who's also the opening bidder.
800.
800. 1568 800.